Thanks, sir. Good evening and welcome to the March 4th Glenville Town Board meeting. Would you please rise for the invocation and pledge allegiance? Let us pray together. Today we lift up our military men and women. Surround them with your protection, strengthen their bodies, steady their mind, and guard their hearts. Grant them wisdom, courage, and discernment as they serve. Be their refuge in danger and their comfort in moments of fear. Bring them safely home to their families and remind them that they are never alone, for you are always with them wherever they go. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Cook?
Here.
Councilman Glenville?
Here.
Councilman Ferrara?
Here.
Councilman Watson?
Here.
Supervisor Kirkland?
Here. We will now move to our agenda, and we'll start on my left with town council reports with Councilman Ferrara.
So as of Thursday, February 26th, I met with fire services. During that meeting last Thursday, they elected new officers and 2 new chiefs. They discussed the fire training center, and they're looking at enhancing their rules and regulations specific to the center. And they provided department updates and discussed recruitment. They also brought up during the meeting that they asked if I could reach out to our police department. And they said that prior to COVID, that the police regularly participated in their monthly meetings. So during my meeting with the chiefs yesterday, they agreed to come and participate in fire services monthly meetings, just to enhance collaboration and participation. I received an email from our town justices stating that they were awarded a grant from JCAD, and they wanted to give a shout out to Jamie and Eileen for their hard work in making this come through. Yesterday, I met with Chief Janik and Deputy Chief Green. They spoke about how their department is prioritizing accreditation standards, which includes really enhancing their policy, procedures, and practices within their department. They also discussed in depth their focus on training, updating their technology, and officer wellness. They provided an overview of the Patrol Finder, which is a great program that they've been utilizing, which they agreed to come and present during Bob's comments later today. Deputy Chief will be giving a presentation on that. They also gave me a sneak peek at the new website that they're working on, and it looks really great. And I think it will be they believe, and I agree, that it will really make the user experience much improved. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Watson.
Thank you very much. First of all, happy Holi to all of our Guyanese residents who are celebrating it today. That is the Guyanese version of Christmas, the Festival of Colors. So if you see powder all over the place in the city of Schenectady and around us, that's because of the celebration. So I hope they're having a great one today. Met with the planning department. Very nice time. Got a chance to sit down with everyone. Boy, I tell you, they do some job. I didn't really have a good grasp of exactly how much is getting done around the town. The planning department did a great job. Then I got a chance to ride with code enforcement. Shout out to my man Justin in the back who took me around. I got to tell you, I thought it was going to be an hour ride. My man and I ended up going for about, what time we rolling? About 5 o'clock, somewhere around that time. So a lot to see, a lot of things I did not know about. but also a lot of great things that are going on. So again, it's a thankless job, but they're doing a great job of going around and keeping things in check. So special thanks to them. Also, again, this is going to sound a little redundant, but thanks to the town highway department and emergency services, police department, fire departments for these last couple of storms. Even yesterday, ice everywhere. I mean, you got into your car and even though it was like raining, it was frozen on the windshields. And to get those roads clean and keep people safe, can't thank them enough. Lastly, also, spring sports start on Monday. So most of the schools, you'll see in the afternoons, the soccer fields, all the baseball fields will start filling up. Just make sure when you're going through parks, take your time. Just watch out for little ones running back and forth, but also our high school students as well. And lastly, because it's not just, I'm glad Supervisor Kirkham brought it up, but those three that had passed away in the conflict, those were reservists. And, once you see some of the National Guardsmen and you see some of the reservists in the area walking around in uniform, thank them. Because even though it's full-time military, for some, it is a volunteer. And thank you for them for their service and for what they're doing, especially since we have Stratton right here in our backyard. So just wanted to make sure those points were made. Thank you very much, Supervisor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Galuli.
Yes, I just have two comments. I did attend the last two GECC meetings on February 2nd and February 23rd. That committee assignment for the past few months has been the battery energy storage systems. Dan Hill, chair of the committee, will be attending the next town board work session on March 11th at 5:30 to present an update as to the committee's progress to date. Secondly, I'd like to also mention that Schenectady Shares, an all-volunteer-based organization focused on food insecurity throughout the year, did kick off its 2026 countywide food drive with a press conference yesterday. The food drive will go until April 17th, and our current closest donation location is next door at the library, and they will accept non-perishable food and personal hygiene item donations.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Cook?
I do not have any liaison reports today.
All right, very good. We will then move on, and we'll move on to privilege of the floor.
We have one speaker, David Pennell of 109 Acorn, and he's going to be speaking on various topics.
All right, very good. We'll open the privilege of the floor and welcome Mr. Hennell.
So,
Give me 1
yes.
second, sir.
You timing me? He said I have an hour,
Hang on
so
a
we'll
second.
try and keep it brief.
No, I want to make sure we have everything on film.
All right.
The clerk reminded me, 5 minutes, sir.
5 minutes, okay, great. Well, I have four things to talk about in those 5 minutes. So I think first I'll just start up as a resident. I wear many different hats. As a resident, I have to say to the police and the highway department, amazing job, especially with the storms that we've had, keeping the roads safe and clear. Thank you very much. Another hat as a Glenville Rotarian. Get your pens out. You're going to mark down a couple of important dates. On Friday, April 10th, we're having our ZD dinner to benefit the food pantries in the area at the senior center. And also on Monday, May 25th, this is looking out a ways. We also are proud to work with the people at the Capital Region Veterans Memorial, where we host a Memorial Day observance at 11 o'clock on that day. So please join us then. And then as one of my favorite roles as chair of the Oktoberfest, make sure you've got Saturday, September 26th, all set for beautiful Malwick Park down on our Munich on the Mohawk. So, but the real reason for being here, and for the gentleman that I was going to speak to, he's actually not here, but I also wear a hat as the chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals. And first wanted to thank the town staff that supports the ZBA. They do a great job making sure the agendas are good, all the packets are complete, and everything's out there. But I did want to congratulate Tony Tazi as he is retiring on the support that he's given to our board and for the great work he's done for the town. So thank you, Tony, in absentia. Hopefully he'll be here later. But
Hopefully you will. And
Thank
this is being recorded, so anything that you've said, they'll certainly be able to view.
fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If there is anyone else wishing to address the board, privilege of the floor, please just step up to the podium, state your name and address. Is there anyone else wishing to speak on privilege of the floor? Anyone else? Privilege of the floor is now closed. We will move to our two public hearings that we have on the agenda. The first one, number 6, is a public hearing for people who are interested in a proposed local law 1-2026, amending the chapter 270, section 270-3 and 270-19D to provide a definition for student dormitories and to permit such use by conditional use permit, which requires site plan review in the general business district. We will now open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this matter, please step up to the podium and state your name and address. Is there anyone wishing to speak at this public hearing? Anyone wishing to speak at this public hearing? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. We'll now move on to number 7, and this is a public hearing for people who are interested in being people who want to be heard on the Spectrum Northeast LLC and subsidies, charter communication, the agreement with the town. We'll now open that public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to be heard on this matter? Please step up to the podium and state your name and address. Is there anyone wishing to be heard? Anyone wishing to be heard? We'll now close that public hearing as well, and I'll move on to supervisors' comments. I think I'll move through supervisors' comments first, and we were going to do it in a different order, but maybe we can buy a little bit of time if Tony is truly on his way. Hopefully everything is okay with Tony. So Tony is our planner that just retired, and we're expecting him to be here this evening. But I'll start off by saying, folks, I appreciate you coming out. I talked to you earlier. I know that you didn't come up and speak on the Spectrum thing. Just for clarity, I just want to clarify one thing on that franchise agreement. We have had some kind of public comment on social media, which I don't really respond on. But the franchise agreement with Spectrum is something that the Public Service Commission basically tells each municipality that they have to do, and it allows them access through the public right-of-ways, okay? And when we enter into that agreement with them, they pay for access through those public right-of-ways, okay? But it is not an exclusive agreement, meaning there are a lot of people who believe that we eliminate competition and we don't allow competitors to come. Actually, that is not true. We welcome competitors. I think the problem is you'll find out that there's only a certain percentage of market share, and they're a business. So if there's only a small amount of market share left to capture, they're not going to put the infrastructure in that costs a large amount of money in order to capture 10, 15% of the market share. But anyway, hopefully that's summarized. We do have information available. You're more than welcome to reach out to my office or the town clerk's office. We can provide you with information on the franchise agreement. There was information that was provided today that talks about the title in the law, state of New York, pertaining to franchise agreements. But enough said on that. Councilman, Ferrara and Councilman Watson, you guys stole a little bit of my thunder. You already talked about a lot of police matters, which I really appreciate. Our police officers and men and women do a fabulous job, along with Deputy Chief and Lieutenant. We appreciate everything that they do. You pointed out the presentation for Patrol Finder. I think we're going to do that at the end. We were going to do that in the beginning, but we're going to give you a look on the screen. This new software that we have at the police department that works as a wonderful tool for us to capture a lot of information, which I know that the councilman was able to view. So that's going to be very exciting. I will point out one thing that we did have recently, and that is Coffee with a Cop. And that was at a local Stewart's right there on Freeman's Bridge Road. There will be 2 more that'll be taking place March the 10th from 8 to 10 right on Ballston Road, which is the Route 50 location, and March 18th from 8 to 10 on Sagandogger Road at Stewart's as well. So that's a great opportunity to go and talk with our chief and our deputy chief and some of our officers, and they'd love to hear from you, and they love to meet people in the public. So that is definitely a great opportunity. Also, there are going to be some things happening at our senior center. There are going to be 3 brand new support groups that I would like to point out. And the Glenville Senior Center right there at 32 Warden Road. It'll be starting this month, and they are 3 brand new support groups. A new Alzheimer's support group, and that will be on the 3rd Tuesday of the month from 1:30 to 2:30. A Parkinson's support group on the 3rd Thursday of the month, and that starts at 1:30 p.m. And a Caregivers Connection the 4th Wednesday of the month at 1:30 p.m. It's amazing, and I really tip my hat to Vicki Hillis, our director at our senior center. You do an amazing job. The programming there is second to none. The offerings that we have for our community and our seniors is spectacular. So appreciate the work that you do there. Our highway department has been busy, as Councilman Watson already pointed out, and I commend them for the work that they've done this winter. It's just been a very, very challenging winter. We appreciate all that they do. But I did have a conversation with Superintendent Coppola, and he's looking forward to this spring weather coming. Get after some drainage work, much needed drainage work that we need to do. There's definitely going to be a paving schedule coming out with the 284 agreement. So we'll identify all of the roads that are going to get paved within the town this year and put that into a 284 agreement. And we look forward to definitely doing that. Many trail improvements in our parks, which highway is going to be a contributing factor there. They're going to provide the manpower to do this. Trail improvements at Mawick and Indian Meadows, which is really going to make it user-friendly, accessible for people with limitations, and we really love that. I want every resident to feel welcome in this community. I want every resident and visitor to feel like they have an opportunity to enjoy the same things that we enjoy as able-bodied individuals. So if they have any limitations, this will allow them to get into nature and enjoy those things. So really look forward to that work happening. Already talked about the fire training facility, and there's definitely good work going on there, actively working on at that. In our parks, our highway department has assisted recently. We're going to have a little pocket park, and it's going to be called Cozydale, and it's everybody knows where it is. It's between the 2 famous bridges. So right between those bridges, and it's going to be a great opportunity. There's going to be a pollinator area, kind of a natural area, and it's right along the Outlaws Kill, which is absolutely spectacular and beautiful. We're going to have a couple of picnic areas, and we really look forward to that. So look forward to that being developed this spring and throughout the summer. It's going to just be another great enhancement to our community. And last but not least, certainly Tony Tazi. Oh, I'm sorry, I have one more. Scotia Relief. So Scotia Relief will be taking place, and that will be happening Thursday, March 12th, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Sounds like a fun place. Wolf Hollow Brewery. Probably a fun place to go. But it is they're raising funds to assist folks in our community that have, emergency needs. It's a great organization. They do an amazing job. I went to this fundraiser last year, and I definitely will be there this year. So put that on your calendar. Again, March 12th, right out at Wolf Hollow, 5:30 to 7:30. Councilman, there's the invite, all right? So let's get out there. Last but not least, we are here to talk about Tony. I don't know what's going on, but at any rate, Tony, this is going to be recorded, and we definitely want to thank Tony for his service here as a planner. We appreciate everything that he's done. There's been a lot that has kind of happened in the town, and I think it is the preliminary groundwork that is being set right now that we are going to really see the harvest come in the next couple of years. The Freeman's Bridge corridor is just absolutely amazing. We'll be talking later on in our agenda about a sewer extension in Glenhaven, a property that I'm really happy that we are going to get moving on the right track. It's a property that we're going to have 29 beautiful single-family homes. There are going to be many, many community benefits here. Property that will attach to Indian Meadows and Anderson Dog Park, sewers for that area, and room for extension as well to add on. So Tony has been a major part of that. Mike Carr, our planning board president, he's here. Our chair, he's here today, and I want to thank you for the fine work that you do, Mike. We appreciate all that you do in conjunction with working with Tony and Dave Hennel as well. He's already stated he's with the Zoning Board of Appeals. He's our chairman there, and we appreciate the work that you do as well. Also, Tony, your whole staff is here tonight. All right, so we appreciate you guys coming out. Lynn, we appreciate all the work that you do. Christine, we know that you're going to do a stellar job at the helm now, running this department. We appreciate you. Justin and Naeem, we appreciate you as well. I know Chris is at training and he couldn't be here this evening, but Tony he took a department that when he came, it was just really Tony and Lynn. And we've really built a team. So I want to thank Tony for what Tony has done. Tony was very instrumental in arranging the meeting with Christine. And I really think that we wouldn't be where we are today without Tony's guidance and direction. So we appreciate everything that he's done. Unfortunately, I don't know what the miscommunication was this evening, but we'll get to the bottom of that later. So now we'll have Deputy Chief Green. We'll have him plug into the computer and give us a demonstration of the. Let me give you the pop-up. Councilman Cook, you might want to. You're good there? That angle you need? Yeah, probably.
I'll go sit down there.
sweet. All right. Go on, I'll wait. Good.
It's not recording. It says we're live. It's recording. So I'm gonna leave it rolling and hope that it loads as soon as we're done.
Well, thanks, guys, for letting us do this. As we talked to Tim yesterday, we do try and get a lot of this information out to the public through our Facebook. But sometimes I think it's probably a better venue to come here and be able to explain it and to actually show it. This is kind of the perfect thing to kind of do a visual presentation on. So I'll run through a few slides that we have here while I talk about it, and then I'll actually pull up a live map so you guys can look at it. And obviously, as Bob's mentioned, this will be recorded. So we can always point some members of the public here too if they have any questions about it. So a little bit, I guess, on the background of the town and why we felt this was a good product for us as a police department. So a lot of people, I'm sure, don't know, but our town's huge, right? It's 50 square miles. There's times where that's patrolled by 2 officers, right? That's our minimum staffing. So that's a huge undertaking for patrol officers at times. So not only are they trying to get around this town to do proactive patrols, they've got to respond to calls for service. We expect them to do traffic enforcement during those times, investigating some of the incidents if they have any criminal matters, making arrests, and of course the numerous amounts of paperwork they have to do, pretty much following anything. So it's obviously a huge deal for 2 officers to get around that much and then to do it in an efficient way. So Patrol Finder is basically a GPS-based software. It attaches to the computers in our vehicles that the officers use. And the idea is to help us improve our patrol coverage. It also allows officers to be aware of where each other are. And there's a few other things I'll get into that it can do. The capabilities are kind of endless with it. I think, honestly, the initial reason they developed it, I think, was more for like crime mapping, which we certainly do use it for. But we saw a lot more benefit in the actual patrol coverage use of it. So it integrates right with our CAD system, which is where officers get our calls from. So if they don't want to be on the screen that CAD is on, they can be right on the Patrol Finder map, which I'll show you in a little bit, and their CAD calls can be viewed there too. So a little bit of background on it. We tested this out in 2024. The company that makes it is actually called TransFinder. They have a lot to do with schools and bus routes and things like that. So they started developing this product, and we were one of the first agencies, because they're right in Schenectady, to test this out. We saw some really good benefits that could come from it, but being that we were kind of like a beta tester, we had some usability issues with it, and we discontinued it for a little bit because it was a little bit of too much of a burden on our officers. So they came back, I'd say mid 2025, with a bunch of improvements, a lot of which were developed through the struggles we had with it. So we said, we'll give it another shot. We'll see how it works. We launched it again in December of 25, so just a few months ago. So we first put it back into the cars, and we didn't have the officers log into it at all. We just had them do their normal routine. And that provided us kind of a baseline of what we were doing on a daily basis as a department. We did that for about a month to collect some data. And this is just kind of give you an idea what the map of the town looks like. We did that for about a month to collect a little bit of data from it, and then went live with it and said, hey, please start signing into this if we want you to actively view the map and purposely try and patrol this town. How this software is going to show us is the best way. So basically, as you'll see on this map, the little dots you see on there are patrol points. So they map the town, and all throughout the town are patrol points on every road, every intersection. Basically, anywhere an officer goes, it's going to be tracked. These dots disappear once they're patrolled. Once you drive over that, again, it's all GPS based. After a set amount of time, however we feel is the best way to deploy it, which we can change by area, by zone, they'll reappear after 24, 48 hours. And then after that point, they can change size and color to let officers know, hey, this has been a while. You really got to get over here. There's a red dot on there. We better go check this one out because nobody's been there in days. So obviously this helps quickly identify, hey, where am I best used here? Where did the person that shift before me patrol? Before you'd come in, you'd have no idea. Hey, I'm in zone 1. I might be hitting the exact same streets the prior car in zone 1 hit. And unfortunately, then the other roads are completely getting forgotten about. I mentioned it integrates with our CAD so they can see their calls for service. Again, each other's locations and different zones and patrol coverage areas. We also enter in here our special attentions and house checks. So anywhere we deem like, hey, we really need officers here more often. We're having problems here. Somebody's away on vacation. They want their house checked. We can enter these right in this map. So when an officer's driving by, they'll see an icon. Hey, let me go there and do this house check. And it tracks all of that for us. It's an automated thing. So really, we can really take care of some problem areas. We know we need an officer to drive by somewhere every 2 hours because we're having issues there. We can set that up and it can do that. We set all our patrol zones up in here. What you see on this map currently are zones 1, 2, and 3. When we have the luxury of 3 patrol officers working, this is the zone coverage they split up. Obviously, you can see even for 3 officers, this is just a huge area, especially zone 1. It's less populated out there, but the mileage of roads is pretty astounding. So we can track all the time in those zones. We can separately track the data in those zones. We also set up zones at all of our schools. This is also deployed in our SRO vehicles. So we know, hey, how are you deploying at the different schools? We leave that to them to know what it's like, but we can at least provide that data to say, hey, you're at this school 75% of the time and only this one 25%. Maybe that's the best deployment, but at least they know that and they can make that decision. Or they look at it and say, man, I really need to get over to that school more often. I see them not there much. So those zones can be set up for anything really. We have some different apartment complexes set up as zones, some commercial corridors that made more sense to do it that way. So let me pull up the map real quick. So just to let you guys see what the live map looks like, this is what they're looking at when they log in. And obviously you can see the circles with the arrows in them that are highlighted red on the outside are the officers. So this isn't something we ever were able to do before in real time, see exactly where each other were. And it's a pretty important thing for call responses, coordinating responses to emergency calls, things like that, knowing where your backup is. So, these officers will be driving by, see a set of red dots and say, hey, let me pull in there. Now I know nobody's been there for a while. Some of the bigger icons, I won't go clicking on them and showing everybody where, all the house checks are and everything specifically. But some of the larger icons are CAD calls. So an active call comes in for, a larceny, that'll pop up on the screen. And you'll be able to click on that to get more information. Somebody wants their house checked while they're on vacation, we can put it on there and they can drive right to it. Very easy to visualize that. You'll see some of the blue outline pieces are different special attentions we had for people to drive through versus patrol points. Really, it's kind of endless. The data we can pull from this, we can just see patrol patterns. And I'll go through a few slides that we first got when we went through the baseline versus when we went live. So these are very hard to read, but all you really need to do is see the color difference there. Basically, everything above that horizontal line before you get to the green and yellow was that month. I don't know if it's the whole month, but that month where we went and deployed this without having officers look in. So our percentages, I don't think they were horrible for the size of our town and how big we are, but it's certainly something we wanted to improve on. So as soon as we said, hey guys, let's start logging in, we started getting coverage, and anything in green is above 95%. So, we're really close within like a 5 to 7 day span to covering 100% of these patrol points throughout the town. And you can see how many patrol points there are. So this is just zone 1 particularly. Same things for 2 and 3, and they can split it up east-west is how we run when we have a 2-man day. And then the last one's department-wide, I think. So throughout the town, there's 952 of these patrol points laid out, which is obviously a lot, but we're still expecting to improve on this. We're playing with the timing a little bit, exactly when the dots reappear, when they should change color to really maximize everybody's efforts on this. We're really hoping to get this down into like the 3-day range of a 95% coverage of the town, which I think would be huge for us. Again, a lot of times you're talking about two guys out there who are in the middle of answering calls, and then we ask them to, hey, just when you're coming back from the call, make your path a little more strategic so we have cars where they need to be. We've used this a few times already to, talk to residents about concerns, and it's twofold. Sometimes it may, in a way, show that we are there. We get a lot of questions about not seeing police cars for days or weeks at a time. We've always known, like, hey, we don't believe that's true all the time. We think we've been by there. We can now go click on a patrol point right by that person's residence and show them the data, how many times we've been by, or if we haven't, we know that we have it now and we can fix it. So that's going to be a huge benefit for us to be able to do that. Our coverage is going to be much better. I think officer safety is better with this. It's certainly going to make these guys proactive. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys have any questions on this, but we're really excited about it. We can also, this is one more data grid again, which you can't see, but break down how much of the town we're covering by the hour. Hey, right around shift change, you guys aren't really covering much. Let's get out there a little bit more and really spread this out a little bit better. So I think we talked to Tim yesterday. We're really invested in technology. There's a ton of it available right now for law enforcement. It's honestly getting a little bit overwhelming, so we're really pushing to start making sure we're doing it smart and not putting too much burden on the officers, because they've got a lot of technology in their cars. Since 2024, we added body cams, dash cameras, patrol finders. They're already dealing with MDTs in there, which have all this data on it, plate readers. So we want to make sure we're not doing too much, but also take advantage of the technology that is there to really make the best of our patrols, especially with our limitations and the geographical size of this town. So that's the basics of it. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
That's great.
Council members back up and.
Great job.
Does anybody remember, dating myself with a deep back hand? That's what it is. So if you're driving through, you're hitting the dot, it disappears. It's like the back end of the game. So it kind of makes it a little more fun for the options to talk about, to understand that there's certain points that we want to not there. Especially, I don't think a lot of people will still understand that we do house checks. We will check their homes in the way they can contact us. This used to go in a book that we used to put in the cars, but now it's directly up on the screen. The officer knows that that's a house, somebody's on vacation, that information's there. You're actually, when you hit that red dot that shows that the house check is waiting, that will then show that you were there. So if somebody comes home from vacation and says, gee, I don't know if anybody came and checked my house, just give us a call. We'll tell you how many times we're there. So, thank you.
Chief, thank you. Deputy Chief, thank you. Board members, if you guys have any other questions? Or?
There's a question there.
Oh.
So we're 24 hours, obviously. We run 3 shifts a day. We work 8 hours shifts. So. No, 3. So, yeah, 8-hour shifts, yeah. That's our minimum. So that doesn't mean there's always 2 on. But, like, we won't go below that, right? We have to have at least 2 on. Sure. Yep.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time and appreciate what you're doing. And I mean, you guys are definitely making some fine technology advancements, and our residents are well served. So we appreciate what you do every day out there. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll get back to our agenda now, and we'll start with Number 9, this is a resolution adopting the proposed local law. This is amending Chapter 270, Section 270-3 and 270-19 to provide a definition for student dormitories and to permit such use by conditional use permit, which requires site plan review in the general business district. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Just real quick, one of the things that I'm just concerned about is, again, this is like when we first started it. No one showed up for it, and no one showed up for against it. And I'm a little disappointed that the people who are going to be recipients of this didn't even show up. You just like to hear something positive and well about it. Again, I'm going to vote yes on it, but I just wish there was a little bit more from those people that would benefit from something like this.
Sorry about that.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I will add that, I do know that it has been talked about.
Yeah.
McKeel is looking at a place, but I want to be specifically clear. We have 0 applications yet for any
Understood.
Site. They identified a site that they think that they would like to rent. So until we do something, there will still be discussion, plenty of
Absolutely.
discussion
Yeah.
on this. So, I want the general public to
Yeah,
understand.
no. Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
And I did receive email input, which I forwarded to everyone on this board.
we did. And there have been some concerns, and I am very trusting in our planning department and the oversight of our planning and zoning commission. They do an excellent job at making sure that they do things that protects the integrity of our town. So a fine job will be done if this is passed and an applicant does come forward. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, we obviously, like you said, we had a lot of conversation about it at the work session. We amended the language to give a little bit more oversight to the Planning and Zoning Commission by adding the conditional use. It allows there to be specific uses approved if the neighborhood makes sense for the project, rather than just a site plan review where there's no oversight. So I think it's the right way to do it. I think it adds protections to the town while still allowing for improvement in that area.
Is there any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Delury,
Yes.
Councilman Farrar,
Yes.
Councilman Watson,
Yes.
Supervisor Griffin.
Yes, on to number 10, resolution authorizing the cable television agreement between the town of Glenville and Spectrum Northeast LLC, an individual subsidy of Charter Communication. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, it's been talked about a lot, but like you said, I think the goal is we will do what we can to pursue signing a franchise agreement with other providers. I think that's the first step, whether they agree to come in and quickly do business in the town. Signing the franchise agreement would be the first step, allowing them to explore the options. I think that's a great way to go. And I think it'll help competition and keep business strong for everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Councilman. Any further discussion? I will add to this that, as I stated before, there is information available this evening. If you call my office, we will have information available for you that will give you the outline from New York State about the code and rules for this franchise agreement. I will state again, this is a non-exclusive agreement. So we welcome competition. We'll let them come in. Like Councilman said, certainly if somebody wants to come, we'd be happy to talk to them. But, any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Delury,
Yes.
Councilman Farrar,
Yes.
Councilman Watson.
Yes.
Supervisor Griffin.
Yes, on to 11. This is a resolution scheduling a public hearing for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as possible at the Glenville Municipal Center and this is for all persons interested in the proposed local law 2-2026, amending the town code, chapter 139, section 139-22, with respect to street standard activities by updating to reflect the activities for which fees may be imposed by the town. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. This is just, again, scheduling the public hearing. Is there any discussion at all?
Yeah, Supervisor and I talked about it. At the next work session, there'll be a little bit more information passed down about this. So if anybody's curious, our next work session is next Wednesday at 5:30. So there'll be a little bit more before the public hearing, the following meeting.
Thank you, Councilman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Blue,
Yes.
Councilman Farrar,
Yes.
Councilman Watson,
Yes.
Supervisor Kirkland.
Yes. On to number 12. This is a resolution awarding the 2026 residential bulk collection program to county waste and recycling. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
And do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this? If Councilman, if you have nothing to add, I'll just add that, we identified and looked at this 2 years ago and decided that from an economic standpoint, this is really what made sense. It was fiscally responsible for the board to take this position by no longer doing curbside pickup and allowing at a strategic pickup site. There will be 2 consecutive Saturdays that will happen in June. The site will be the Glenville Senior Center again. We found out that last year we received tons of feedback, all positive. It was a successful turnout for bulk item collection. It gives our residents an opportunity to bring whatever goods may be received under that criteria for those 2 specific dates. Just to give you an idea of the range that the savings, it's approaching nearly $150,000 to $200,000 in savings by making this move in this financial direction. I'll just reiterate the fact that each 100,000 has a negative effect of approximately 1% on the tax levy. So a couple 100,000 would be a 2%, which would far exceed the tax cap. I really believe, as far as I'm concerned, as one of the leaders of this community, this is the right financial decision that provides enough to the resident that they have access to be able to get rid of bulk goods during this period of time. So with that being said, the award is for $27,500 and the tipping fee is $116.50 per ton, and disposal of and hauling of metal is at a rate of $272.45, which we will be paid back, reimbursed on all metal collected. So the town will receive those. So the only fees that we pay are the $27,500 for the 2 collection days and the $116.50 per ton for the tipping fee. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Blue,
Yes.
Councilman Farrar,
Yes.
Councilman Watson,
Yes.
Supervisor Kirkland.
Yes, on to 13, and this is a resolution approving the minutes of the regular town board meeting held on February 19th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So move.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. This is accepting the minutes. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Blue,
Abstain due to absence.
Councilman Farrar,
Yes.
Councilman Watson,
Yes.
Supervisor Kirkland.
Yes, on to 14. This is a resolution scheduling a public hearing for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 at 7 p.m. right here at the Glenville Municipal Center for people who are interested in being, speaking on the proposed extension number 31 to Sewer District 9, located at parcel number 15.00-2-4.1, which is 50 Cypress Drive in the town of Glenville. Do I have a motion?
I move it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Again, this is scheduling a public hearing only. Is there any discussion here? I will add that this is the Glenhaven project. This is what I talked about earlier, the 29-home, single-family development with a sewer extension, which will have extreme benefits for the community. This is one component of what we're delivering on that is going to be a huge enhancement for that community and our residents. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Cook?
Yes.
Councilman Galuli?
Yes.
Councilman Farrar?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Supervisor Kirkland?
Yes. On to our last agenda item, new business. I'll start on my left with Councilman Farrar.
No new business.
Councilman Watson.
The first time, no new business.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Baloo.
Nothing tonight.
Councilman Cook.
Nothing to add.
I have nothing as well. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.